Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
Okay, we're here with Raj Baharat, directly from India, getting ready, counting down to the Sheru Classic Colombia, South America. Now, you are like India's top contender for men's physique?
By God's grace, yeah.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of good competitors out here. And,
yeah, but you are like the guy to beat, I hear, in men's physique.
Hopefully, yeah. I'm just looking forward to get myself in the best shape out there. But then, yeah, let's see. I'm going to try my best out there too.
Because you're on the official cover. I guess they'll call it, like in the old school days, the official flyer, but it's now digital.
Yeah.
Against Fernando Chalan, kind of like a face-off, almost like the boxers and MMA fighters.
I wasn't expecting that, yeah, but then it was quite nice to see something like that coming up.
A rivalry, you know, India and Asia versus the Americas. It's cool. It's cool to see that, bringing the whole global bodybuilding community together.
Yeah, it sounds interesting to me too, and I'm looking forward for this to know how things are going to turn up. But yeah.
Now, Raj, tell us a little bit about your career, how you got started in men's physique and bodybuilding. How long have you been, even as an amateur, when did you get into the sport of bodybuilding and men's physique?
Okay, yeah. I was actually, I'm an engineering graduate who finished college, and straight out of college I wanted to do some modeling shows and stuff. So I started my career back then in 2014. Mm-hmm. I was Mr. India 2014, which was actually a modeling pageant. It wasn't really a bodybuilding stuff, but you know, modeling does require a certain form
aesthetic,
of
aesthetic look.
Yeah. You need to be a little lean and fit for it. So I was kind of training towards that particular look. But then eventually, what happened? Once I started training towards it, I kind of developed this. I kind of developed a feeling and a sort of love towards the sport. And eventually, I just tried one particular event at that point of time, which was totally not into modeling. It was a fitness modeling show. You know, it was more like not a men's physique show. It was a fitness modeling show. It kind of took me in. It kind of gave me a really totally perspective of bodybuilding, and which was totally different for me. So I kind of wanted to try out this particular sport and see how things were going on. And eventually I started training myself towards it. And down the lane, I started training a lot of celebrities out here in the south of India. I come from south of India, which is called Tamil Nadu. And it is
what part of southern India? How do you say it? Please repeat for the camera.
It's called Tamil Nadu, which is the southern part of India, which is the southmost end of India. So over here, so I started training celebrities who do movies and stuff over here. So that's how my career in this particular field started. And eventually down the lane, what happened? By God's grace, I started doing certain movies and stuff out here.
Oh wow! So movie star, fitness competitor. All right, cool.
In the south of India.
Yeah.
Movies till now, and that's how things started. So movies, but everything had a certain pattern. Like because of men's physique training, I kind of got into this particular movie. I got movie opportunities and stuff, and down the lane things are going fine. So I'm pretty happy with whatever is happening around me, and I'm looking forward to see how this particular thing goes in the future.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Now, how many competitions did you do as an amateur before you obtained your pro card, and what year was that?
Yeah, I've been competing since 2000. I've been
Okay.
competing since 2016. 16 was when everything down the lane was up to the shoot. But then I did a couple of years of trying to there.
What states did you do competition? Oh, okay, up north.
Garden State.
The Garden State.
But then I couldn't pursue further because of my funding and stuff. I couldn't go further after that particular thing. I got my overall because of some things I was able to come back to the US and go compete again. Down the lane, is One Up Nutritions, which is
One Up, of course, yeah.
One Up
Yeah.
Nutritions, yeah. So these two have really been supportive to me, and lately I've been signed up with another brand called Crazy Bulk, which is also vitamins and stuff. So I'm really happy with whatever has been coming down my lane, and which has definitely helped me achieve what I've done till now.
Excellent, excellent. And now you came in on the bodybuilding scene or fitness scene where things are going a lot better for the international athletes, the international market. Obviously, with Sheru English emerging in India is India's strong man, right? The hustle behind the muscle, right? A hustle behind the muscle and organizing Indian and Asian bodybuilding. Obviously, Jim Mannion allowing international athletes to get the pro card because before you had a better chance of hitting the lottery than getting your pro card, despite the talent you might have. Now Indians can get the pro card and they can compete professionally and compete as professionals in India and Asia in great places like Medellin, Colombia, which has got to be a complete contrast culturally, which is probably exciting for you because you're going into a concept called fitness tourism now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward for this because it just out of the blue came from. I mean, I was really not looking at this particular vision a few months back, but then I'm really happy that Sheru sir gave me an opportunity, and I've Muscular Olympia India got me the pro card.
That was in 2018?
In 2019. That was
2019.
Just 2 months back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just got it. You just got your pro card a few months ago.
Yeah, I just got it because I went through a lot. I've not been competing for almost a year. 2018 I met with an accident. 2018 I wanted to try to get into the pro league, but then what happened right before that I met with an accident. That was during a movie shoot. I fell from the second floor. So it was a rope shot, yeah. There are a few videos out there in my...
So you didn't have a stunt man? You your own stunt man or what?
Yeah, I actually did it on my own. So
wow.
I thought it's all safe, but then it was a slight malfunction of one of the... It was just a small mistake done by one of the group men, but it did cost a lot for me.
Hey, but, just look at Bruce Lee, right? One little mistake.
Yeah,
I hate to mention it, but that's...
It was going for a 6.
Yeah, that's...
It did screw my whole shoulder. My right shoulder was in... I had both shoulders. Both my shoulders were not that great, but then because of this injury, I had to take off for almost 4 months.
Oh, wow.
Off training and stuff, and 4 months of zero training, and that kind of took my head and made me eat whatever I wanted. So I kind of lost the whole track of it. But then eventually I started gaining confidence, and this particular win, the recent win, was definitely a big thing for me because
momentum
I was totally off shape. Yeah, it means a lot to me because I definitely didn't mean to come compete at this particular show, but something in me wanted me to just bring out whatever I've lost in the period of time. Almost a year I didn't compete, so wanted to do something to prove myself. Then I'm really happy that God had put me into this place at this point of time.
Well, that's great. So now this would be your first pro show, though. Then in Medellin.
Yeah. But this is going to be my first pro show, and I'm really tensed to be frank, because I wanted to train for almost about 12 weeks for a show, which which I wanted to plan out in weeks advance. But then Sheru Classic it just happened all of a sudden. I just got about 5 weeks of intimation to train.
Yeah, it sneaks
So,
up on people because it's really the first show of the year, or one of the first shows of the year. And so a lot of people are like, well, wait, I want to do that show. Oh, it's in February. I'm not going to be ready. So it sneaks up on you.
So when Sheru sir called me up and told me about this particular news, I was kind of taken off. I was shocked, and I was like, "Sir, will I be able to do this?" And they were like, "No, we want you to do this. This is a good opportunity which you might have to utilize." Which I didn't know. It is such a good opportunity and a good exposure to. And since this being my first pro show, I did look up to whatever was coming up. So, when I got the news, I was definitely tense. But yeah, I think I'm ready for this.
And this show is its third year. There's been a lot of big names in this show, including the actual Mr. Olympia, Raymonds, Andre Ferguson, and Fernando Chala. He qualified for Olympia last year, as well as other names that are up and coming, like Fernando Valdez. Guys that this show is really a chance, as they say here in the States, to make your bones, to set your precedents, because you don't know who's going to show up. It could be an Olympian athlete to a guy that's just getting his break, but he's hungry for it. So you got to fight in this show. That I'll tell you what, we're expecting at least 500,000 people to tune in on our live webcast, because we were breaking about 250,000 just from the market of the Americas. And with India and Asia, everybody's on YouTube in India, man. Everybody's going to be watching this.
Everyone's on YouTube. That's definitely. It's going to be really great, that's for sure. So that's one reason I'm tensed about, because it's such a great platform where I really need to perform at my best, and definitely in the given period of time. So I'm quite tense and happy at the moment.
Yeah, it's amazing. A lot of the companies, a lot of the U.S. companies have no idea how big the digital reach is on these shows for these live streams, and they are missing out. And they're wondering where to put their marketing dollars because they're being really frugal. And man, when you take some of these biggest economies in the world, like South America, Mexico, India, Asia, and you put them against each other in a rivalry like this in the Sheru Classic, you're talking about millions of clicks, man. So this is going to boost your social media as well. How many followers do you have on Instagram?
I have about 145,000 followers.
145,000, yeah. Yeah, most of the guys, I know a lot of the guys that have signed up in like Classic Physique and Men's Physique, and they all have 50, 100, 200,000 followers on Instagram. So people are going to be tuning in.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a great thing towards.
Any nerves? Any butterflies in the stomach?
Definitely, yes. Because as you know, what you're told itself is kind of a big step for me at the point of time, and I've just been given about 5 weeks of prep time, which did scare me a lot when I heard. But then my coach, I definitely need to mention about my coach here, who's Mr. Omar from the US, Team Ventura. Yeah, so he's been coaching me. So he's like, 6 weeks is definitely short, but yes, I think we could.
You can nail it. You said you can nail it. Yeah. But you got to be on point with everything.
We can try our best out. So definitely doing my best out.
Well, you do it to win. You always come in the scene to have a winner's mentality. But there is another strategy behind that too. It's your marketing. You want to be in shows where there's high visibility. I could tell you a lot of shows in the States that won't even get a quarter of the traction digitally that this show will get. And they're supposedly big shows. So you got to be strategic. You got to, anytime you stand next to a big name, you become a big name, right? Because now you're swimming with the bigger sharks.
Yeah, that's one thing which I'm also worried about, because that's definitely a great opportunity which is coming my way, and I should definitely be sad. So yeah, I'm definitely.
Well, your sponsors will be happy. That's for sure.
Definitely, yeah. They are quite happy.
So,
they were eager to know about this.
what areas of improvement have you made most? Obviously, the shoulders. You've worked a lot, very hard on your shoulders.
I've worked quite a lot on my shoulders, but the issue with me is I retain a lot of water. During my last show itself, that was the only negative issue which I got on stage. I kind of sweat. So we are definitely working on that. Like during the last few days of our, because the size-wise, proportionality-wise, I think it shouldn't be much of an issue. But then getting the best out of me without this water retention during the last
dry.
week is going to be getting myself dry is going to be a really big challenge for me because of my genetics as well. So we're going to try our best. Me and my coach have been definitely working on this for quite some time, and we are looking forward to get our best out there.
Well, I tell you what, it's hot and humid there. Because you're in a valley in the jungle.
3 days before. I'm going to be there on the 13th of February, so I'll be there 2 days in advance.
Just to get used to it, the water, everything. Even though it's bottled water, it's still different from your side of the world. There might be a little, bug in there. That's how it always is when you travel, right? But it's hot in the venue, backstage. So, you get a chance to get your interviews, right? There'll be a lot of different press there, local press, international press.
Sure.
It'll be a lot of fun to be at the press conference and meet and greet. Tell me a little bit about your diet. Obviously India has a completely different diet from the Western world. What are some things that work better for you as far as maintaining the muscle mass, but you got to diet down at the same time. So what are some foods that work very well for you?
What are the? Sorry, I didn't get your last point.
What are some foods that work very well, macronutrients that work very well for you to help you diet down lean but not lose that muscle mass?
Yeah, see, in our part of the country, as I told, the southern part of India, we have a different genetic structure compared to the northern part and the western part. We all are quite different from each other, and our genetics kind of varies with time to time. So we definitely we are more of a size-based body. We are more of we tend to hold on to the size, but the actual challenge for us, it's actually a boon to us. We'll be able to get into the size however we wanted. We'll be able to gain the size better with the food which we have in our country. But during our cutting period, that's like during the days where we cut, we definitely face a lot of challenges because there are a lot of, this is where our genetic stuff comes in, water retention and a lot of other stuff pulls in. But yes, we are definitely we have definitely developed from what we were 3 years back till now. Every year we are developing, and something or the other good is happening towards our fitness industry out here. So we're definitely developing on the food ingredients and stuff, which is giving us a better result out there on stage. So I would definitely say our positive is more on the muscle gaining the muscle volume and stuff. That is our positive out here.
What's a power carb for you? What kind of power carbs do you like to eat?
Power carbs isn't the we definitely go. Rice is our main source out here.
Rice, white rice.
Rice is white rice. We have different forms of different categories of rice. We have rice, which is quite a longer rice.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different, man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it, it's impossible.
Farming is our base out here in our country, so we kind of get a lot of good white rice varieties, and the particular absorption rate of these rices which we get is quite higher compared to whatever we've seen out there. So I would definitely root out for that.
Okay.
Different grades are here.
Yeah, rice. It's good. Beans probably, right? Beans, rice and beans.
Rice and beans are definitely good.
Lentil, because the iron, lentil beans are good. Yeah.
We do have a lot of sweet potato out here, but then I think rice, the grades of rice which we have, that's the quality of rice which they produce out here is quite great. That's
interesting.
One thing where we'll be able to absorb a lot of carbs out. So yeah.
What is a single over the last 2 years since 2000? When did it go down? 2016 or 2017 it went down. When Jim Mannion basically said, "Ciao de Santoja," he says, "I'll take over from here," and he has. He's made a global expansion fairly quickly. What have you seen in Indian bodybuilding? What direction has it gone? How have you seen it expand?
Definitely in 2017, Indians, when they look into an IFBB Pro League, it was something which was definitely not possible. Like we all
Non-attainable,
had a
yeah.
myth. We all had a myth. Like, oh, it's not. Then they're not going to allow us. We don't. We even though we get a chance, they will not. I mean, we won't be able to go through the process and stuff. But definitely, 2018 has been a boom to us. Like they've. Medellin sir has come down to India and he's definitely given a drastic growth through Sheru sir, which has definitely given a lot of good athletes out here in India. I think there are 7 men's physique pro in India at the moment, and
Good.
that's quite a lot for what it was from before. Like
it'll keep growing.
We had no vision of this. We had no vision of something coming up like this. But then now we're quite confident. This kind of motivates us to do better, you know.
Oh, of course, it's a snowball effect. When they see you get on stage in the Sheru Classic in a pro event, that is the other league's worst nightmare. The other league wanted to suppress its talent and keep it amateur, where the IFBB Pro League and NPC says, "Hey, we want to open doors. We want commerce in these countries. We want the channels of commerce. We want these athletes to be movie stars, rock stars, have large social media accounts. Let's do it the right way. Let India grow, because what's the population of India? It's one of the largest countries in the world, right?"
Yeah, we are. We definitely are.
I mean, you don't want to suppress a country like India. You want that economy to grow in fitness.
Definitely, yeah.
You know,
and lately I've been seeing a lot of good development in this particular sport, because initially it was just federations which were involved, but now it's going to be federations, the state ministers, the country. The government is also helping us to develop this particular sport, and Sheru sir is definitely doing a lot out here. If you could see his recent posts, he's been trying to reach out to sports ministers out there in Punjab and different states out there, and he's trying to develop the whole sport in India, which is going to be, I don't know, it's going to get even more tougher every coming year. Like the competition out here in India,
more competitive. It'll become way more competitive.
Competitors are getting very better. Yeah,
it was the same way. Listen, it was the same way in men's physique when they first launched it. When they first launched it, everybody jumped into men's physique, but it takes a couple years, kind of work its way out. It finds its rhythm, and the judges just kind of changed the criteria again. You know, Tyler Mannion put that IG news out for the NPC worldwide, and the new criteria for men's physique. So it's like anything else.
The criteria process was different. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when the men's physique class was opened, a lot of people did definitely jump into this. But then when they sort of identify the criteria and identical physique for this particular particular sport, the whole thing changed. They've developed over the period of years, and I'm really surprised over the growth which the country has gone through in these recent period of times through all the channels which you've got now. Yeah.
Well, this is a wonderful time for India and Indian bodybuilding and fitness. Please tell us your social media accounts. Where can people follow you?
Yeah, my Instagram handle is BHARAT_RAJ_OFFICIAL official. Yeah, it's Bharat_Raj_official.
Okay. Any YouTube accounts or Facebook or anything like that?
YouTube, no. I'm lucky. I'm just starting my YouTube channel coming week. So yeah, I'm doing my whole script narration and stuff.
YouTube is everything these days. Yeah.
YouTube is definitely. I'm opening it up shortly. I think I should be opening it up before I reach the.
Yeah, you got to record your whole experience, man. How many hours of a flight is that?
It's going to be a 30-hour flight.
30-hour flight.
31, yeah.
More than a day.
I'm going to Dubai to Dallas to Colombia. So it's going to be a long flight for me.
Long flight, yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
special shout outs, thank yous before we get going?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank a lot of people out there here at the moment. I would like to thank my family for supporting me through this journey. And family also means the Indian family out here, the Sheru Classic organization, the IFBB organization, who definitely had done a lot to the country and made athletes like me emerge out here from the country. And I'm sure they're going to do a lot more and get a lot more good athletes from India. And I'd like to thank God, all of above. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that's Raj Baharat getting ready for a 30-hour flight to Medellin, Colombia.
Yeah.
Check him out this February 14th to the 16th, as ND Latino will be doing a live webcast of the Sheru Classic, including women's bikini, men's physique, where Raj is going to get up on stage, and also classic physique this year, plus the Mr. Olympia Amateur, where amateur athletes from all over the world will be competing for their pro card, as well as a regional event. So there'll be plenty of coverage. Follow Raj on his social media account, and don't forget to tune in. This is Kit Sanderson. Now you're going to teach me a little bit of your language today, okay? Tell me how to say never surrender.
என்னைக்கும் கைவிடாதே.
Kaibadadi.
கைவிடாதே.
Kaibadadi.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, brother.